In this video, I'm going to be showing you how Patrick Kun did his invisible ace in hand teleportation trick in his AGT auditions. Now, this video is not going to be the tutorial for his entire performance in his AGT auditions. This is just going to be on the second part where he did the ace teleportation after turning them invisible. And this is the part after the first part where he produced the aces after the judges shuffle the entire deck of cards. So if you want to know how that was done, I've already made a tutorial on it and the link will be somewhere on the screen, or you can always find the link in the description. And in this video we are just going to learn the second part. So here's how you're going to do it. For this trick, you're going to need the 4 aces and 1 random playing card, and for that reason you're going to hold this deck of cards in the face up position, because when you do hold it in the face up position while you're showing these aces, you can take a pinky break under the top face up playing card, and then if you place these 4 aces face up right over there, you're going to have 5 cards just above the break, and whenever you want you can actually grab all these 5 cards and keep it right over here. That way you're going to steal all the 4 aces along with 1 random playing card, and that is what necessary for this trick. So after you have the break under the top 5 playing cards, when you're going to grab all of them and bring it out, what you're going to do is basically you're actually going to grab all of them, you're going to lift them a little bit, and then you're going to turn your wrist over, because of course the top card was this one, but after you grab that, the top card will change, and if the spectators are noticing keenly, then they're actually going to know that you have actually taken 1 extra card with these 4 aces. And so that they don't know it, you're actually going to grab all the 5 cards and turn your wrist over and keep the deck just like that. That way it will look like that you just took 4 cards and nothing else. Now at this point the spectators are going to know that you have 4 cards, but you know that you have 5 cards. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to take the first, second and third ace and keep it right over here, and with the 4th ace, which is also having that extra card on its back, you're actually going to turn it over, and you're going to take 2 of these cards, both of these cards, and place it gently right over here so that they don't separate. And after that what you're doing is basically taking these 3 aces just like that, and you're just turning them face down so that they don't know that which ace is disappearing from this pack of playing cards. Now from this position you're holding these 3 aces like that, and what you're doing is basically when you're coming over here, covering it up with one of your hands and pretending to grab one of the aces, you're actually pulling your thumb back. That way this card actually comes backwards, both of these cards actually come backwards, and when they come backwards all you're doing is basically you're using these 3 fingers that is present over here in order to square the bottom 2 cards and keep the top card free to move. And you're going to do that under the cover of this hand when you're actually going to pretend to take one of the cards from this pack, and that way it will look like that you just grabbed 1 card inside your palm right in front of the spectator's eyes. Now at this point you're going to turn your hand and show that the card has turned invisible, and you know already there is 1 more extra card right over here. So what you're going to do is basically come over here, turn your wrist over and turn your palm face down, and what you're going to do is basically you're actually going to press on the top card and put it a little bit sideways so that it looks like that you just made 1 more card appear right over here. Now at this point in Patrick Kun's performance there was a scene cut. I know that because I'm related to this art which was displayed, and since AGT is an entertainment reality show, they are bound to do scene cuts so that they make these performances more appealing to the audience. So since I know the actual trick, this is not a new trick, this is an old trick. Since I know the actual trick, so I know there was a scene cut. Then scene cut was done using the camera changes. So what everyone does over here is basically they actually switch the position of these 2 cards with these 2 cards. Of course there are 3 cards over here, you know that. So basically for the next card to teleport, you actually have to put these 2 cards right over here and take these 2 cards back onto this hand. So you're actually having this random card over here, but for the spectators this is one of the aces, and for that reason what you're doing is basically you can do the same move of fake palming. You can just pull it back and square it up with your fingers, or you can just do anything else, like you just hold it like that and then pretend to palm it and drop it just behind this palm, and then you just square it up. So that way it will look like that you just again took 1 more card inside your palm and you turn it over, you turn it invisible, and when you come over here and you put your hand over here and move your hand, you turn it visible. And this movement is a little bit different because over here what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, turn your hand face down and you're actually going to cover this side, because the card that is going to move this side is from the middle. So you're going to cover this side, and what you're doing is basically, if you can actually cover the entire position of the cards, so that will be very easy for you to do, and that will be more convincing, because you don't want this side of the card to peek out from this side of the hand. So for that reason, try to cover up the entire card with your hand. If it's needed, you don't need to keep your hand in this position. You can bring your hand more to the top so that the entire card gets hidden, and under that hiding movement, you're actually going to press onto the top, and when you just push your hand towards the side, the middle card is going to move out of the way, and it will look like that one more card just appeared right over here. So that way you're going to put the next card right over there. So that way you're going to make one more card teleport from here to there. That's what it is showed in AGT. Now at this point, all you're going to do is basically you're going to pick up these 3 aces, you're going to show it to them. You know that you have 2 cards over here, and the bottom card is an ace, so you can also show it to them. And at this point, all you're going to do is basically you're going to grab all these 3 cards together, and then turn these 2 cards as one, face down on them, and then just pretend to take the ace of spades right over here. Now when you're taking this card back, you're actually taking the single card back, and this card is the random playing card, and for the spectators, this card is the ace of spades. So you know that the ace of spades is over here. So basically what you're going to do at this point is you can do 2 types of moves. One is when you're going to ask the spectator, after keeping all these cards over here, to place their hand on top, and if they place their hand on top and if there's moisture in their hand, the card, this ace of spades, is going to stick to their hand. So whenever they turn their hand over, the ace of spades will be stuck onto their hand after this card gets disappeared. So basically that is a really great way, and I think that was not what Patrick meant to do. It just happened by luck, and he just added it as an effect to the magic. So that's a good way you can pull it off. But anyways, what I would like to do is basically, I know that this is the ace of spades that's over here, which I pretend to turn it right over here. After I did the double lift, I kept the single card over here, which is the random card. And at this point, what I'm going to do is basically I'm actually going to pull 1 card from the bottom and 2 cards from the bottom, just like that, and make it look like that I have 3 cards in my hand. And I can also turn it over, because the ace of spades is actually hidden, and for the spectators, the ace of spades is right over here. Now at this point, I'm going to keep these 3 cards over here, and I'm going to take the deck of cards back. Now by this time, they have already forgotten what the bottom card was, so there's no need to worry. You just have to take this ace of spades, this fake ace of spades, and keep it halfway out of this deck, just like that. And all you're going to do is the earnest move, or you can do the Daniel Madison's half vanish, which is actually another version of the earnest move. So basically all you do over here is you just grab this bottom card, sorry, the top card, the actual top card, bring it down, and then what you do is basically place it again back onto the top of the deck. That way half of the card actually goes inside, but since that happens under the cover of this hand, nobody knows that this card has actually gone on top of this one. So when this card actually goes on top of this one, you come over here and you pretend to grab the playing card, and when you pretend to grab the playing card, you use the middle finger, sorry, the index finger, you use that index finger to push that card inside, and you pretend to grab the playing card. So that is a fake grab that you're doing one more time. So basically, if I show it to you in an exposed view, it should look somewhat like this. So it looked like that I just grabbed the playing card, because the playing card is no more over here, it's in the second position. For the spectators, it will look like that I just grabbed the playing card, and when I turn my hand over, the playing card has again disappeared. And what I'm going to do is basically come over here, turn my wrist over, turn my palm face down, and what I have to do is basically on this top card or on the right card, whichever card is on the top, you just place your entire palm on it and just move 1 more card away from it. So basically the card which was hiding on its back, it actually moves this side, and this is none other than the ace of spades, which was the card that the spectator saw that you palmed and you grabbed it, it vanished and it came over here. So that way you can make it look like that there were just 4 aces and you just made them travel to each other, near each other, and that too after turning them invisible. So that's how you're going to do this trick. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, then make sure you subscribe, because that's what helps me make amazing videos like this one. And one more time, thanks for watching. Peace.